In my junior year of college, I was lost. I slowly began to lose that spark of passion I had going into the beginning of the semester, till it was nearly gone by the end of the semester. I wondered why I even wanted to become a writer, why I even wanted to create games. I spent months trying to come up with answers to these questions, until I finally decided to think back on my childhood. I reflected on my memories, hoping to discover what led me to wanting to become a creator in the first place. And sure enough, I found my answers in 4 video games throughout my past. These 4 games guided me to remembering what it is that I wanted to achieve as a creator, and helped me realize my passion again. I wanted to take this video to explain the impact of each of these 4 titles and how they inspired me. Starting with the first video game I've ever played, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Released in 2006, this was not only my first introduction to the world of video games, but the world of Marvel Comics as well. In this game, you play as a team of 4 Marvel superheroes to defeat a group of villains known as the Masters of Evil, who seek to rule the world. While this may not be such a compelling plot, this game did a fantastic job in keeping to the source material and staying true to the many worlds and characters that inhabited them. This game also constantly sparked my imagination. Like the time I played with my uncle and acted as one of the superheroes of the game and came up with all these wacky storylines with them. So overall, this game was the perfect starting point on my passion for video games. And it helped me realize my passion for imagination as well. My next entry in this list will be Batman Arkham City. This game was released in 2011 as a sequel to another game called Batman Arkham Asylum. It has you play as Batman, who seeks to shut down a corrupt prison known as Arkham City, which, as the name implies, is a prison set in the confines of an entire city. This game mainly inspired me through the amount of hype it produced out of me and many of my friends around its release. In fact, I met one of my best friends through our shared excitement for this game to come out. We had spent our entire lunch periods throwing back theories and rumors on what gameplay elements they were going to use, or which new villains were going to show up, or speculating what would happen in the story after the events of Arkham Asylum. When the game finally came out, me and my friends were blown away. Not all of our theories came true, but we were still amazed. Reflecting back on this memory, it made me wonder if I could ever create something that can have people speaking about it for hours, coming up with theories, and talking about its characters. My third entry in the list is Bloodborne, the first game I ever played on my PlayStation 4. Released in 2015, this game has you play as a hunter in a post-apocalyptic town full of monsters, and the goal is to go into the world of nightmares to take down a legendary beast in order to complete your hunt. At first, I didn't particularly care too much about the game. I played it for a little bit until I got to the first boss, which is the one shown here, and it was the hardest boss I've ever fought in any video game at that time. I thought, what were they thinking, making this guy the first boss? This is impossible. Then at my high school lunch table, I sat with a group of students, who I was not particularly close with at the time, until one of them asked me if I wanted to play Bloodborne with them, to which I said yes. It was when I played online with my friends and beat the game that I truly appreciated what this game had to offer. The bosses were all super tough, sure, and I remember staying up until 3 a.m. with my friends trying to take them on. But it was super rewarding once you finally beat them and learned their patterns. This feeling of accomplishment after overcoming a seemingly impossible challenge in a video game is something that I saw out in all the video games that I played going forward. And it is something that I hope to recreate one day in my own video games. And the final entry of my list has to go to The Last of Us. This game was released in 2013, and it has you play as Joel in a zombie apocalypse, who must transport a young girl named Ellie, who is immune to the virus, to a hospital in order for a group called the Fireflies to create a cure. This game has by far one of the greatest narratives I've ever experienced in any genre of media. I vaguely remember watching a YouTuber named PewDiePie play it for the first time it was released, but didn't come to fully understand or appreciate the work of this story until I had the chance to play it during the pandemic lockdowns. beautiful writing of each of the characters and their transformation throughout the story, combined with the brilliant performance of the actors and actresses, absolutely blew me away. I was so invested and attached to even the side characters of the game. There have been very few games that have made me forget about the gameplay, which was still pretty good, and completely immersed me into the characters and their struggles. I can confidently say that this game inspired me to want to become a writer and recreate that magic of character development and world building that this game produced in my own games. So all in all, these are how these 4 games reignited my passion in being a creator. I thought back to what made me completely lose myself in imagination, what made me excited, what made me feel accomplished, and what made me feel moved. And hopefully, some of these things resonated with you all as well.
Sic in terra